and give us the opportunity to present our apparel and inventory item product matrix for Sage 100 ERP. We're very flattered that you're taking the time to allow us to present. As Adrian mentioned, Gary Berman is going to be joining us. He's actually going to be presenting the Apparel Matrix enhancements. Gary Berman is our Executive Vice President of MapaDoc, in case someone out there didn't already know this. And just to lighten up the atmosphere a little bit, I would like to start with my joke. And I couldn't find anything that was relative to apparel, so I literally called my 9-year-old and asked him if he knew any good jokes. And he did. I mean, they're the cutest things. He asked me, so Mom, what kind of dress can never be worn? Guess what it is? Address. And then he said, why would a golfer wear 2 pants? In case he gets a hole-in-one, which was really cute. And then the last one, I won't torture you anymore. This is a good one. If you get frustrated trying to put clothes in your neatly in your wardrobe, a good suggestion would be to maybe take some hanger, everyone with an H, management. So I thought that was the cutest. Okay, end of my jokes. Let's jump straight into the agenda. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about SWK. I'll give you a nice overview of the Apparel Matrix, talk about who can benefit from the Apparel Matrix. We'll go through several client pain points, not too many. I'm sure you're all aware of what the pain points are out there in the industry today. We'll jump straight into the presentation. And then at the very end, I'd like to also leave you with a list of other SWK enhancements that are available, that are currently available, and of course our contact information. As Adrian mentioned, feel free to type in your questions and we will definitely address them at the end of the presentation. Otherwise, I will personally get back to you with the answer to your questions. So let's talk about SWK. Here's my quick commercial. SWK is a Sage reseller that has been around since the late 80s. We're a gold certified Sage development partner, which permitted us to use the Sage tool sets to create MapaDoc integrated EDI, as well as other enhancements for Sage 100, such as the Apparel Matrix, for example, and among others that I'm going to list at the end of our presentation. Our EDI solution is fully integrated with Sage 100, Sage 500, and Sage ERP X3. We currently have 400 active customers utilizing MapaDoc and a very capable and dedicated technical team supporting our customers and partners nationwide. By listening to you and understanding your unique business opportunities and challenges, SWK's team is able to develop and deliver effective solutions just right for you and your clients. In fact, as you can see on this screen, our company's mission statement is, and we take it very serious, to empower our clients and partners with knowledge, solutions, and tools for success. Some of the biggest challenges facing the global apparel supply chain continue to be rising costs, political and economic uncertainty in both consumer and sourcing markets, the changing role of China, for example, increased competition at retail, pressure to integrate supply chains and shift towards faster fashion cycles. The ability to adapt quickly to changing conditions and pressures will separate the winners from the losers. Many retailers today stock a wide range of inventory, hard goods, soft goods, and everything in between. A fairly high percentage of that inventory mix is what could be categorized as multi-dimensional, or items that come in various sizes, colors, etc., also known as styles. A great example of this, of course, would be apparel. A shirt comes in small, medium, large, extra large, etc., as well as different colors, red, blue, green, you name it. With apparel products, since both sales and purchase orders are likely to contain products of the same style with varied colors and sizes, it's much easier to enter quantities with SWK Apparel Matrix for any given style. Using order entry and purchasing, an order entry employee can place orders by navigating the SWK Apparel Matrix of all colors and sizes for any given style, adding quantities where appropriate. This will create multiple order lines in a fraction of the time it would take to key them in line by line. The same functionality is also available for placing purchase orders. Similarly, the SWK Apparel Matrix approach to price changes on a sales order or purchase order can save time and reduce the chance of errors. I mean, and that's key. Imagine being able to save an enormous amount of time, not having to double enter an item with the base item, the size, the colors, etc., and then avoiding chances of error. Nobody likes to have to go back to a customer and say, hold on a second, we made a mistake there, it's the wrong item, it's the wrong size. So who can benefit from SWK's Apparel Matrix enhancement? When a business is focused on providing specialty apparel and accessories, they need store operations that run as smooth as silk, with item lookups tailored to their particular store's needs. Matrix inventory tracking that can accommodate fast changes in what is being sold, and of course the ability to give customers a seamless buying experience. SWK's Apparel Matrix tool for Sage 100 ERP helps these companies keep pace within an industry that's always changing. It's the ideal solution for apparel retailers who've built their business on meeting specialized customer needs and who don't want the hassles of managing a complicated software system. The Apparel Matrix tool is a powerful enhancement for companies in apparel, jewelry, accessories, footwear, or other industries that manufacture or distribute common product styles in a range of sizes and colors, or any combination of the two characteristics. Basically, any industry that offers a product line with many variations in options or styles can benefit from SWK's Apparel Matrix. So here's a quick example of the old days and what people used to use to keep track of their inventory in the different sizes and colors. The list that you see on the far right of your screen, it's not too clear, but it's actually stipulating one item, the different colors, the different sizes, etc. Imagine having to keep track of that. And then imagine not knowing whether or not your employees entered the right information to begin with. Anyone who has worked in the apparel industry with clothing, shoes, sporting goods, and similar products knows the inherent complication of dealing with large numbers of products that are similar yet need to be tracked separately. Some common issues for those in the industry include the inability to get stock information in real time, the difficult process of making changes to product information, and the inability to manage numerous product codes properly. Not to mention how cumbersome and time-consuming data entry in general can be, since both sales and purchase orders are likely to contain products of the same style with varied colors and sizes. This leaves you almost in the dark when it comes to selecting a specific product during the sales order process, and inventory counting, as well as management becomes almost, if not completely, impossible. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and hand over the presentation side of things to Gary.
Thanks, Patty. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gary Berman, and I'm going to give you a brief demonstration of the product that Patty did such a great job describing to everyone. I just want to emphasize that this is really like a tool. We're basically using standard Sage 100 inventory, and we're basically segmenting the inventory number to make it easier to set up inventory items and do sales order entry and purchase order entry. So I'm going to walk you through some of the key setups that have to do with this product. Starting with the most critical one is a one-time setup under inventory management options. So basically we've added this section here called base, size, and color. So basically every system, once you set it up, you're basically you're taking the 15-digit Sage 100 item number, and you're breaking down that 15-digit number into 3 different segments. So typically what we would recommend is your base number, your base, meaning your style, would be 8 digits, and then we're using color and size since those are the 2 most frequently used in apparel. I'm using them in this demo as well. So basically our most standard setup that we've come across is an 8-digit style, a 4-digit length, and a 4-digit color and a 3-digit size. Once that's set up, that basically the only other setups involved would be setting up different colors and size master files. So basically, just any types of colors that you would want to that are possible for the whole system would be entered into the color maintenance. I just want you to note that there's also a field for sorting, and that's more relevant when you get to size, where you might have sizes small, medium, and large, and you want to have small show up first and then medium and then large. So the sort field for size and color is specific to that reason. So when it shows up in the grid, it's going to show up in the sort order, small, medium, large, extra large, some like I'm displaying here by sorting those fields. So basically, the setups involved is that simple. It's basically figuring out how you want to segment your inventory item, and then you have a color code maintenance and a size code maintenance where you could enter all your sizes and colors. The next thing I want to then show you has to do with the inventory maintenance. So we've added a new program called Inventory Base Maintenance, and this is where you'd actually set up your styles. So this, in this case, this is going to be that 8-digit base number. So let's say that we're going to have a jacket, and my spelling might not be the best, but so we're going to set up a base item. And I'm also going to give it a standard price of $10 and hit accept. So once you have all your base items set up in inventory, sorry about that. Forgot to close out this section. Okay, it did set it up. Once you have your base items set up in inventory, the next thing you would do is go into item maintenance. We're going to click over here on the grid, and that's going to let me bring up the base items that I just created. And then all of the colors and sizes that were set up in your color and size code maintenance would show up, and you just would simply check for this style what sizes and colors you want to create actual SKUs for. So in this case, I'm going to just, instead of choosing all 3 colors, I'm going to say for this jacket, I'm going to make this jacket in white, small, medium, and large, and in blue, large, and extra large. I also have the ability here to copy the price over. So basically whatever price I put in as the base item, those prices would also copy over. I could also copy over the cost, but I didn't put a cost in my, I had entered a cost of 0, so I'm not going to bother checking that. Once I do that and I say yes and I click yes to all, what I've literally done was, in the matter of seconds, I've now created the equivalent of 5 individual SKUs in inventory. So if I go into my item code lookup and I go down to jacket, you'll see that what I've just done is I just created that jacket in blue large and blue extra large, and also I've created that jacket in white, medium, small, large, medium, and small. And all the information that was part of that base item is also part of that. And notice I also have my standard price of $10. We always have the opportunity to go back to the base item if we want to do a price change. So if I want anything that's highlighted here in yellow, this shows all of the items that I've already created. So if they've already been created and I want to change it to a different price, I have the ability to do that. I also have the ability on the fly here to just add an extra SKU as well. So basically what I'm going to do is so basically it modified the 5 items and it created the 1 new item in my inventory master file. So I'm just going to take a quick look at all of those SKUs. Now you can see that I have the 6 SKUs, so it created that other blue jacket. And if we go and look at the prices, they're all going to be $12 now. So it's pretty powerful, and it really eliminates a lot of time, especially we've come across a lot of accessory customers or people in the jewelry field and some traditional apparel as well, where where you still have to maintain the individual size UPCs or SKUs as your actual item number, and it's just really makes it a lot quicker to set up the items. Now this same type of logic now flows through to creating sales orders. So let me go into sales order entry, and I'm going to actually create a sales order using the jacket item number that we just created. So I'm just going to pick any customer in my test company, and when I go to the lines tab, you'll notice that now my base item is my main item that I could select. So I have a choice of selecting a base item, but I could also choose right here from item code any individual item, whether it's a base item or whether it's a matrix item that was created off of a base, or if it's just a regular individual like raw material item as well. So I'm going to pull up that jacket right here, and what happens is whatever fields are available in white, that means I have actual items or SKUs for these sizes and colors. So from an order entry standpoint, it's pretty simple. I'm just scrolling through the fields and putting in the quantities of what I need to put on order, and then I just hit accept. And once I hit accept, it explodes it and creates a separate line item for each of the individual SKUs that I put quantities for in the grid. So it really is just a tool, and it is very simple. You could see, based on what I've just showed you in this example, of how quick you could learn how to use this product and implement it. It could, be implemented really quick. There's minimal training involved. We do also have some forms I do want to show you for this sales order that I created, the pick sheet form for sales order number 184. So I'm going to go into picking sheet printing now, and I'm going to bring up order number 184, and I'm going to just preview that to the screen. And I just want to demonstrate how you could put a grid, you have a different variation of how you could design your pick sheets. So you could design your pick sheets to have a grid format like I have on the upper part, or you could design your pick sheets with your regular picking sheet standard design that just lists out each of your item and SKU numbers. So everything I just showed you for a sales order is also available in purchase order entry as well. So if I was going to go into purchase order entry, and I select the vendor. When I go to my lines, I have the ability to put in a base item as well. The same grid comes up. And obviously, order entry is very simple. I'm going to hit accept, and there you go. It just explodes it into the purchase order, and your purchase order is done. And if you needed to add any additional SKUs, you could just go ahead right there and add your additional SKUs. And that's it. That's basically what I have to show you. This is our Apparel Matrix, and if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them for you. And I'm going to hand this back over to Patty.
Gary, we do have a question. Thank you, Karen, for your question. I think this applies directly to your presentation right now, Gary. So
okay.
back to when you are setting up the items, could you have a few different pricing levels based on fabric type, example, grade A, B, or C?
Well, it's going to follow whatever pricing it does in standard standard Sage 100. But if you have to have different pricing if you can have different pricing based on the actual size and colors, then you're going to just have to create it. You can't put multiple prices in at the grid. It's only set up where you could put one price in based on the base item and copy that over. So if most of your items are one price, you could copy it over and then go into the individual one that's different.
So with that said, can you copy one of these sales orders to a PO?
Whatever, absolutely. Again, it's whatever standard functionality is in Sage 100.
Got it. Okay, so we don't have any more questions along those lines, so I'm going to hand it back to Patty to go ahead. I think she's got some slides she'd like to finish up with.
Thank you, Gary and Adrian. Gary, the presentation was very informative, and I'd like to reiterate, there is a very small learning curve when it comes to the Apparel Matrix, due to the fact that it was written and formatted for Sage 100. You noticed it appeared as if you were not even outside of Sage. You were using your standard sales order and purchase order entry screens. So a lot of the rules that you've already set within Sage 100 will definitely be applicable during or using the Apparel Matrix. Very good questions that were given out to us as well. If you do have additional questions, please do not hesitate to send them our way. We'll be happy to help. I'm also available for one-on-one presentations. The recording of this webinar will be available for you too. On the screen right now, I also want to point out the other Sage 100 enhancements that SWK has written. As you can see, Apparel Matrix is at the top of the list. We also have the bill of lading. Mass transit basically allows you to create crystal reports with the speed of SQL. I think that's the best explanation. If anyone's interested, let me know and I'll give you more information. We also offer multi-bin advanced distribution, time and billing professional, timekeeper, and our newest release, which is actually under a controlled release right now and ready to be officially released this month, is Time and Billing Exact, TBX. I'd like to invite everyone to join us for a TBX webinar on December 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like more information, please feel free to contact me or visit our website at swktech.com. There is a registration page there for anyone that's interested in the Time and Billing Exact. The star of the show at SWK, of course, is also Mapadoc. You may have noticed that as Gary was presenting the Apparel Matrix, he had Mapadoc also installed on his Sage system, and he was going back and forth from Mapadoc. Mapadoc was also written and formatted for Sage 100. We leverage what you've already set up in Sage 100 and allow you to take advantage of Mapadoc and process your EDI in a much quicker, secure, and reliable manner using, of course, MapAdoc. MapAdoc is ideal for companies who are about to use EDI for the first time or for those who want to improve their existing EDI capabilities. Find out why our clients and resellers love our EDI software, consulting, implementation, training, and ongoing support. MapAdoc is fully integrated. It's a fully integrated EDI solution developed within the Sage ERP business framework, as I mentioned before. It resides in your Sage 100 application. You're able to receive inbound documents, process orders, and send out the outbound documents required by each trading partner. We do not use Visual Integrator because of this tight integration, which basically means that there are no import or export routines that you have to wait for. I'd also like to point out that we have our MapAdoc user group, MapAdoc Connections, which is going to happen in Los Angeles this year on from October 7th through October 9th. And I said this year, I mean next year, 2015. So save the date, everyone. If anyone is interested in additional information, visit our website at mapadoc.com or feel free to contact us for additional information. With that said, if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to leave our contact information on the screen for you. Please feel free to call, email, let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any new ideas for us. Definitely let us know if we can provide you with assistance in regards to any of our enhancements. We look forward to hearing back from everyone. And I'd like to thank everyone for participating in our presentation today. I know it was very hard for you to make time for us, and I really do appreciate that you stayed and watched all of our presentation. I hope it was helpful. And with that, I'd like to just say that I hope everyone has a great holiday. Gary, Adrian, is there anything else you'd like to add?
We do have another question. Thank you, Jean, for your question. What is the cost?
Pricing is available via email. Because I have resellers and end users on the line at this webinar, I would prefer, if you wouldn't mind, I'll respond to your question via email.
Perfect. And I do have a poll up for the audience. If the audience can take just a moment to answer this poll. Are you interested in learning more? Yes or no? Thank you so much for taking a moment to answer that question and for taking a half hour out of your day. I know that it's hard to come by visiting with us for a half hour. Hopefully it was informative. We are a half hour early, and will be sending you a follow-up email complete with the recording and Patty's contact information. So we just would like to stay in touch with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to respond to either myself or Patty when I send the contact information over. And with that said, thanks again, everybody. And Patty, do you have anything else left that you would like to close with?
Only that we're always here if you need any type of assistance with regards to any requirement that you may have with your Sage ERP software, whether it's Sage 100, Sage 500, or Sage X3. And I'd like to just thank everyone again for their time this afternoon. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
All right, thank you, Patty and Gary. Great presentation, and we'll be in touch.
Great.